And I will also be talking in the next 10 minutes on make your food your medicine. What can you do about what you eat? You know? And when Omolara was talking, it just dawned on me to share my uncle's story. My uncle died at the age of 96. And the oldest ever in our family. I don't think in how many generations, I don't think we've had anybody live up to that age. But till my uncle died from when he was born, or at least from when I knew him till he died, my uncle never ate food cooked the previous day. You cook his meal every day, so nobody invites him to his or her house because you don't want that pressure. And then again, what she said about drinking water. Every morning when my uncle wakes up, the first thing before even answering your greeting is give me water. And then he takes water every morning. A lot of other things he used to do, and then I saw how he grew to old age and lived until he died. He never used glasses for once. He could see till he died. So the truth is, all of these things we are saying, they are highly beneficial, but a lot of times we are unable to keep to them. And like an author said, okay, this book came out over a year ago. I've had a couple of testimonies from this, and and even someone who had ordered 5 copies has ordered again to be delivered tomorrow on Monday morning. So a lot of people have bought it and have called to say, oh, I want to start doing this, I want to start doing that. Some of them couldn't continue, that's the truth. Some have been able to continue, I've even recommended for others. But I think what Margaret Mead said is very important. She said that it's easier to change your religion than to change your eating habits. It's actually easier, as you are now, you can actually it's easier to become a Muslim than to change the way you eat. So that's how difficult it is to eat healthy. So it's actually going to take a lot of deliberate effort from you. But I'm going to run through very quick tips. Of course, we can't do healthy eating in 10 minutes, but let's see what we can do. Avoid storing fresh food for so long. Talking about tips for staying healthy. When you buy fresh food, avoid storing them for so long. Because a lot of fresh food, when you buy them, they begin to die. So the longer you keep them, of course, the lesser the nutrition you get from it. And then number 2 is eat natural foods as much as possible. There are a lot of canned foods now. Even banga is now canned. The day I saw that, I said, may God forgive these people. And I tell people a lot of times, I do food business, I cook. If you take fish and put in a can and seal it with oil, how long will it stay? Can someone just guess? How long do you think it will survive before getting spoiled? Sorry? Maybe 2-3 days, 4 days, 1 week, max 6 months, Abi. What's the shelf life of the sardine you are eating? So there is something they've done to it to make it stay that long. And most of the time, whatever they did to it is not healthy for you. The same thing with corned beef and all the other things we eat. So what am I encouraging us? As much as possible, stay away from canned foods and focus on natural food. Prepare them yourself and eat it. Know the implication of what you are eating. I think that's actually where it starts from. Knowledge is power. If you study around what you are eating, the truth is you will have power to stay away from them. A lot of things I stay away from now. For instance, Coca-Cola. Amy, Coca-Cola. Rice is incomplete without Coca-Cola. But for how many years? I think I'm going to 3.5 years. I've survived without it. No matter how chilled it is, I'm not interested. It starts with what you know about it. So that's why, what am I encouraging us to do? Know the implication of whatever you are eating. In fact, if you don't take anything from here today, take that away. Know the implication of whatever you are eating. Let majority of your food be from plants. And then, when we say let majority of your food be from plants, we begin to think, what am I going to eat and all of that. You can research, find out that thing you are eating. What are the components in it? What are the other things I can eat that will give me the same thing? How can I blend them to come up with what I want? Thank God for YouTube, thank God for Google and all of that. So I'm just saying, beyond paying attention to how you dress, what you say, and how you pass your exams, pay attention to what goes into your mouth. Praise the Lord. And then the next point is avoid frying your meals when possible and eat less oil. Because even the LDS of oil is not good for you. Oil, and any form of oil, we hear this one. Oil is not the best. So as much as possible, avoid frying your meals. Find out other ways you can cook without frying your meals. Okay, and then reduce your meat intake. I've heard very funny things we hear every day. You hear a customer call you and say, beef is not good. So I'm really thinking of cutting down the way I eat beef. So for that reason, please give me cow leg. But please, you will double the portion because, since I'm not eating beef, I'm not just myself. And I laugh. Beef and cow, please, where are they from? Egg and chicken, it's not all the same thing. But it's so funny how we think. Give me white chicken. The skin meat is meat. Be honest with yourself. Whether you are eating goat meat, you are eating beef meat, you are eating anything meat, meat is meat. So if you can avoid them completely, do. But if you can't, you can reduce your intake. You can even start from there. Reduce your intake of meat. Okay, and then another point is take a glass of vegetable juice daily, and of course a lot of water, like she rightly said. How did I learn to take a lot of water? I had a water bottle. So there's this I actually wanted to bring it, but I forgot. There's this very big water bottle I used to have. It's about that water bottle is about maybe about 2 liters or more. So I fill it, yes, very big. So I fill it every day. There was a time I used to even bring it to church in a bag. I fill it every day, and then I go with it anywhere I am. So when I finish drinking, I know I've taken 50% of what I need today. And then again, I fill it again and I continue. That way I'm able to measure the quantity of water I'm taking. And over time, it becomes a lifestyle. You know, when we went to what field was it that day we went to, and they said I should come out for competition. I was even afraid. When I saw water, I said, oh yeah, line up. I was sure that I was going to win when I saw water. Because for me, it has become a lifestyle now. But it's something you make up your mind to start, and then you begin to make an effort to continue doing it. So measure your water. Know the quantity of water you're taking per day. Make a deliberate effort to take it. And of course, talking about vegetables. When buying vegetables, as much as possible, look for the ones with very tiny leaves. You know, I go to the market a lot, and then you see someone is trying to buy ugu leaf. And then she will pick the ones that have very big, large leaves. They had this one, and then I'll just be laughing. I see this one. This smaller one that is very small is actually what you need. Because the other one you are buying have grown to the point of maturity, and as it's doing that, nutrients are reduced. That's why if you notice, if you know shoko, native shoko, you can't find big leaves. So all the other ones you are seeing are Greek, and when they say agric, what they mean, fertilizer is used in planting it most of the time. So most of these leaves are better when you eat them than when you eat the tinier ones. Praise the Lord. And then when buying fruits, talking about juicing vegetables and fruits, when buying fruits, as much as possible, ensure you are buying from a place that has a shade. Some people buy pawpaw, this tight pawpaw, they are hawking. The sun, fruits and veggies, usually, after they are being picked from the farm, their biological clock continues to tick. So they are not dead yet. But they need the natural weather of day and night to continue to survive. So when you expose it to too much sunlight or too much of darkness, it's actually losing the nutrients. So that's why if you want to buy fruit, that's why you go to places like, these people sell in front of all these supermarkets who have a shade. You see that their fruits are more expensive. But the truth is, if you can afford it, it's better to buy one there than to buy 5 outside. So as much as possible, buy fruits from those who have a shade over them. And then, of course, when it comes to snacking, snack on fruits instead of cakes, candies, and cookies. Snack on fruit. So you are going out, you leave home in the morning, you're supposed to return at night, and of course you need to eat something in the course of the day. So instead of buying biscuits and coke, buy cucumber, buy carrots. Make a deliberate effort, buy carrots, buy cucumber, buy things like that, because it's actually better for you. And then when we talk about breaking old habits, it's actually very important to break old habits, because every bite you take, when you are eating anything, remember that every bite you take is either fighting disease or feeding it. So each time you're eating something, ask yourself, am I feeding a disease or am I fighting a disease? So it's very important to find out all of this. And talking about breaking old habits, we have talked about the 21-day cycle. If you do it for 21 days, and then some people have asked, I've done it for 21 days, but my lifestyle didn't change. Most times, the reason is because even though you have done it for 21 days, that particular thing, you don't eat it every day. So if, for instance, you eat that particular thing once in a week, it means that your 21 days is actually 21 weeks. But we still count 21 days, which in essence is actually 4 days. Because you eat that thing usually once a week. That thing you are trying to break away from, you eat it once a week. So you have to count 21 weeks of staying without that thing before you are sure that you're breaking from those old habits. And then as much as possible, reduce the bouillon cubes you are cooking with, and stock cubes. And then don't overcook your meals. Eat alkaline-based meals, even though we think it's impossible. Research on it. Find out what you can replace your meals with. And then the next time you want to put something in your mouth, spend a few seconds to think about it. What am I putting in my mouth? Am I feeding a disease or am I fighting it? And then I'll take these 2 quotes, and I think it will cause us to think. It says, don't eat anything your grandmother wouldn't recognize as food. Anything your great-grandmother will not recognize as food, don't eat it. Because with all of these innovations, yes, There's problem, Abi. But all of these innovations came with also a lot of health challenges. And to stay away from it, we need to look back at the good old days. Finally, to ensure good health, eat lightly, breathe deeply, live moderately, cultivate cheerfulness, and maintain an interest in life. Thank you.
Thank you very much.